Hi friends, welcome back to ARC Tutorials. This is SQL complete tutorial series for absolute beginners. If you're trying to get into data science, data analytics, or even as a full stack developer, you must have a solid understanding of SQL. A lot of you have written to me, like I mentioned in the previous episodes. That's why this entire tutorial series on SQL for you. This is part 3 of the series. In the first two episodes, I have done the introduction as well as the installation. Before we get started, please do support me and my channel by liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. If you need any tech support or training for your job, write to me at surya.aradhya@gmail.com. Alright, so don't miss the first two episodes if you are absolute beginner. We talked about introduction, we did the installation of the commonly available products, that is MySQL and PostgreSQL. Today we are going to cover basic concepts. Alright, so a quick recap for you all. What is a database? These are some of the basic concepts that everybody should have a common understanding. So first is, what is a database? A database is an organized collection of structured data, usually stored electronically in a computer system or a server. It provides an efficient way to store, retrieve, and manage the data. So think of it like a server where you keep all the data in in one place, right? You can, in layman's terms, that's what we call it as a database. A database will usually consist of multiple tables. Now what is a table? We'll come to that in just a bit, but understand that a database is a collection of multiple tables and other objects like views, procedures, stored procedures, indexes, etc. When you manage that data through a system, that's what we call it as a database management system. There are various products and tools through which we can manage our data. MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, Oracle SQL, all of this now, even cloud-based, you know, databases are available. So these are all nothing but database management systems where you store your data. The next important concept that you should know is, what is a table? A table is a fundamental component of a database that organizes data into rows and columns. It's essentially a grid where each cell represents a piece of data. Each table has a defined structure with a set schema, which includes column names, data types, and constraints. The purpose of tables is to store data of a specific entity or a subject. It can be anything, let's say customers, orders, products, payments, anything, users. So I will use this example as a spreadsheet, right? Now this is a, think of it like a table where you have user ID, you have username, you have password, say email address, phone number, etc. So this becomes one table because it has columns and it will have rows, right? So let's say our tutorials, passwords, let's say encrypt and hash it, etc. like this. Email address, write to me at surya.aradhya@gmail.com, right? So this becomes a table, right? This is exactly what is stored in your database table. But remember, this is a spreadsheet, so it can have only certain data, a limit. It can't be shared, it can't be accessed over a server, it can't be manipulated, the data can't be read through various programming languages, and much more. But with database tables, you can do all of that. So think of it like this is a table which is stored in your server, and when multiple such tables combine together becomes a database. We'll keep learning this as we progress, but this is for your understanding. What is a row? A row is nothing but a record in the table which represents a single complete set of related data. Like this is one row. Okay, this is one row in table. This is an Excel, but imagine this is a design of a table. So each record becomes a row. Each row contains data for all the columns defined in the table. Each row in a table is typically unique, often identified by a primary key, will primary key is nothing but a unique identifier, let's say your user ID, which is unique for all the users, right? That's We'll come to that, so don't jump into too much. Stay with me, learn the basic concepts, and we'll start coding. The last that I want to cover for you is a column. A column is a vertical entity in a table that holds all the values for a particular attribute. Now think of it this way. A column in English means this is an entire column. So this column, which is user ID, will hold all the user IDs of the users. This column in a table, which is username, will contain all the usernames, right? So that's what row and column means in a database table also. So the data is arranged like this. It can span millions and millions of records. Alright, so quick summary on this. What is a database? Database is nothing but a collection of large data which is usually organized around multiple tables and other objects. What is a table? Table is nothing but a group of data, related data, right? Or a related subject, like it can be anything. It can be products, users, customers, orders, payments, can be anything. Row represents a single record with data of all the columns in the table. What is a column? Column defines the attributes of data in the table and hold values for a specific attribute. I hope these four concepts are clear, because going forward when I use the word database, table, row and column, we all will have the same understanding in terms of learning. Alright, so from the next episode onwards, we start the SQL statements. That's where the fun begins. So thank you so much for joining in this episode. I hope you will learn and master SQL with me. Please do like, share and subscribe these videos to keep encouraging and supporting me. Thank you. See you in the next episode.